The Madoka Magica brain rot is real, fellas. And I'm about to make it everyone's problem. It was about time I made a video talking about Madoka Magica for a change, but before that, I need to make a small disclaimer. If you found my channel through this video, note that I never made any video essays like this, just art time-lapses and gameplays. I've always been shy and introverted, and it was not until a year ago that I started streaming on Twitch that I became confident enough to use my voice. And honestly, what a better way to make my first ever essay than yapping about the upcoming movie Walpurgisnacht. Let's take a look at all the trailers from oldest to newest, and by the end of that, I'll give you more of my thoughts. The first teaser was released on April 25th, 2021 as part of Madoka Magica's 10th anniversary, and it honestly reveals almost nothing except for a subtle update in the art style. However, we fans were ecstatic with the news. And can you blame us? It's been 84 years.
It's been 84 years.
Well, not really, but you know what I mean. Then comes the first official trailer, revealed during the Aniplex Online Fest 2023 of September 10th of that same year. Now here we have some stuff to dig into. First of all, we can see some interesting elements like telephones and the tarot card of the moon, which might be heavy references for what's coming while sliding under the radar of the viewers. Then we have the biggest enigma that still hasn't been fully revealed to this day. An unknown magical girl that wields a bow similar to Homura's in Wraith Arc. We can't even get a clear glimpse of her face, or better say, her eyes. For some reason, this girl's eyes have been kept a mystery in every trailer, potentially so us, the viewers, can't recognize her. Only in the last trailer we can see she has her eyes closed in a shot, but we'll get to that later. We can also see brief takes of Kyoko, Mami, and Sayaka's new designs, and another big enigma, the various Homuras and the tower at the end of the trailer. In the second teaser visual, we can see how there's clearly two different Homuras. One has a red ribbon, the other has a black headband. One wears thigh-high black stockings, and the other below knee-length tights. Not only that, the second Homura also shows a black shirt on her uniform under her blazer. That automatically strikes me as something odd. Then is the tower full of chains, where we can see not only Homura in her new magical girl form, but also the Clara dolls around it. We can spot Homura twice around the tower, which makes me wonder about something. I've seen speculations online about multiple Homuras guarding the original one being trapped inside the tower on this particular take. But being honest, I feel like that's not entirely accurate. These Homuras we see on this take might as well be one and the same, roaming around the tower. However, we can't ignore the chains. Are those simply for aesthetic purposes? Or was Devil Homura really binded to the tower by something else? And of course, we can't forget about the trailer 1.1 revealed during a 10th anniversary comeback screening of the Rebellion movie on October 29th, 2023, which features Madoka's new magical girl form. We can also see how she cries golden tears, possibly referencing that connection to Madokami and multiple set of Cubase eyes, hinting that the incubators might be still keeping an eye on her. The second trailer has two versions, so let's talk about them separately. The first version was revealed during the Aniplex Online Fest 2024 on September 16th of that year. And almost first thing we get hit by Madoka and that old Homura dancing together. And that Homura is now even more odd because she's clearly shown with red eyes. But there's also another odd Homura with slightly shorter and wavier hair jumping to an abyss. What are these Homuras? Projections of Devil Homura? The Clara dolls taking up her form to keep the status quo? Or maybe something else entirely? We can also see a glimpse of Devil Homura's new design as well as she falls from the sky, and one of the Clara dolls, in this case Ibari, the Pride Clara doll, with a magnifying glass. Not only that, but two new girls as well, one with green hair and another one with orange hair. We can also see a scene where the original Homura is looking at herself in a pocket mirror, which, by the way, it is in German. Dame, which is written in there, it's German for fool. And we can see how her shirt is white, opposite to the old Homura. Moreover, she still owns the ribbon, but this one has changed colors to a dark gray. There is also a shot of a spiral staircase. Maybe it references a spiraling fall to despair? Or is it just a coincidence? We can only assume for now. And we can't forget about that strange library where Sayaka's walking around. The one with the huge statue. What in the world is that place? The side Homura version of the trailer was revealed during a special Rebellion movie re-screening on October 25th, 2024, later being released in YouTube on November 1st of the same year. Besides the shots we've already seen in the previous trailers, we can also have a better look at Devil Homura's new design and school uniform, and also the first teeth reference. There's plenty of biblical meanings associated with teeth, but it can be a reference to Homoligi as well, since her form in Rebellion was known as the Nutcracker Witch, and some of her familiars were literally teeth. And of course, the most unsettling shot of this trailer in my opinion, Madoka looking at her phone while being watched by girls with jumbled up faces. And judging by the pink hair, they might as well be multiple Madoka projections, as if it was to track Madokami trying to reach her missing piece. Now we start with the 2025 onward trailers, which reset the numeration for some reason. This reason might be the now strong consistency of the new designs for the first trailers. So let's get into it. The first 2025 trailer was released during the second 100-day festival stream for the Magia Etc. game on July 15. The half moon we saw by the end of Rebellion is still there, and very soon the reveal that Octavia von Seckendorf is under Sayaka's bandages in her magical girl form hits us like a truck. The telephones keep appearing, this time ringing non-stop around the distressed Madoka. I honestly wonder what these phones could be referencing. Perhaps the hints to Madoka that she's a goddess? The feeling that something's out of place and the truth is trying to reach for the surface? Or is there a deeper meaning behind it? Not just that, but we can see a glimpse of the two new girls on their magical girl forms. And of course, a better look at Homura's magical girl form, to which I have to add is fucking gorgeous! Come on now! I have to add, I realized by watching the Pualamagi Wiki gallery of the trailers that there's something that I completely overlooked despite having watched this trailer a good couple of times. And that is this. If you play Magia Record or Magia Etc., you probably know what is wrong with this picture. But if you don't, well, then that's okay, that happened to me too, I'm a little slow. What caught my attention wasn't the picture on itself, but the caption under it. It was a single word, or better said, a name. Bona. You already know what I'm getting at, do you? Exactly. Bona is none other than Paola's familiar, and Madoka is here surrounded by them. This makes me wonder. We know wraiths are still present in this red-ridden world. Homura said so herself in Rebellion. So, are witches going to come back somehow? And if that's the case, how? Sadly, this opens a new line of questions that I have no answer for. The second 2025 trailer was coincidentally released with the airing of the final episode of the TV edition for the Beginnings and Eternal movies on December 21st. What a nice early Christmas gift, am I right? We can definitely have better looks of all the girls now, and it's also the first trailer that shows us Nagisa as a magical girl. By the speech we can hear and read on the English version, we can deduce that Sayaka knows for a fact that something's wrong, either with this new world or with what's going to happen in the movie. The rights are definitely still here since the Grief Cubes make their first appearance, and we can see how the new girls' soul gems in the ring forms glow in white, which definitely strikes me as odd again, but I'll get to that in the end. The last trailer was released this year, coinciding with the real-life Walpurgisnacht on April 30th. Perfect timing considering the title of the movie. And it comes with a date, August 28th. There's not much to unpack on this one because every single scene is entirely new, no repeats from previous trailers. Right off the bat, we get hit with the second teeth reference and we get a bit of a glimpse of Nagisa's new casual outfit. We also get 2 new shots of that unknown magical girl. And yes, her eyes are still either hidden or closed. So I feel like the mystery is gonna still be up until the movie comes out. There's also a shot of a white room illuminated in red and someone is in the background. It looks like it might be Homura, but you have to zoom in so much to see her that I might be wrong about her identity. We have a few peculiar shots of the 2 new magical girls with Nagisa and Kyoko. You can only see their silhouettes in 2 of them, but it's clearly them. I have to mention that right after this trailer, the Madoka Magica official X account announced the names for these 2, Choka Shi and Selma Therese. From the 2024 trailers onward, we've seen how Selma and Nagisa seem to be together quite a lot, and in this trailer we get shown that the same thing happens with Choka and Kyoko. I wonder what will be their dynamics because the trailers are kind of vague in this specific matter. We also have a look at what it seems are the new raids. Let me tell you, they look awesome! Way more macabre than we've seen on episode 12 of the anime, or the Eternal Movie Finest Scenes by default, and I'm all here for it. Besides having a better look at both Selma and Choka, we can also see a shot of Madoka surrounded by white feathers. This can be a clear reference to Marokami, but I can't help but wonder if it's a contact with her godly self or something else entirely. The speech is very interesting here, and even though we still don't have an English version of the trailer as of today, May 19th of 2026, when I'm recording this, we can clearly distinguish for the second time how Homura is confused about one or several magical girls she doesn't know. You can hear it clearly. Watashi wa shiranai mahou shoujo. At first, I thought she meant Choka and Selma, but I came to think she might be referring to that one unknown magical girl who's being kept in the dark the whole time. I guess we'll have to wait for Aniplex USA to drop the official sub-trailer. For all I've yapped about the last probably 10 to 15 minutes, I don't even know, Chief, we can have a few thoughts for sure. There's obviously one odd Homura besides the original, but we still don't know what could she be. Maybe a doppelganger created by Devil Homura herself, or the Clanadolls taking their master's form to, as I mentioned earlier, keep the status quo in the new universe and prevent Madoka to remember she's a goddess. Remember what happened by the end of Rebellion? Madoka almost broke that new order just by nearly remember who she really was. Homura has to keep tabs on her to prevent that from happening again so she can be happy as a human. The Octavia part in Sayaka is so hardcore too. It makes you wonder how that happened. But I have a theory. It might be because Octavia was out and under Sayaka's control when Homura was rewriting her memories in Rebellion. Maybe she even partially remembers some things about herself, or even her final curse before her memories were fully rewritten. Sayaka said, and I quote, "There is something I'll never forget, and it's that you, Homura Akemi, are the devil." The brief bonus segment also grinds my gears. Madoka rewrote the universe so every witch was erased from existence, thus the race appearing. And Homura took a tiny piece of Madoka and rewrote the world again so she could exist in it and be happy. Homura mentioned the rights, so we can assume they're still around. I mean, she has no reason to touch that part of Madoka's rewriting. So why are witches appearing now? And the most important part, the answer is yes. How are they doing it? And we cannot forget about the new magical girls. Who is the unknown one? Why does she look so similar in outfit and weapon to some girls of the Holy Quintet? Is the internet right and she's actually form of the memories of the Holy Quintet? Was she created by something else? Is she a part of Madoka? Is she an entirely new girl? For real, the fact they want to hide her identity so much is so goddamn suspicious. Who the fuck is she? Then Choka and Selma come into the equation. And I have a lot to add here. Even when you put them side by side with the other girls, they still can't help but strike me as the odd ones out. Not because they're new and we don't know them, but because of elements in their designs. The first one being their school uniforms. They both have black shirts under their blazers. And guess who else has that? Exactly. the odd Homura. Speaking of her, we can also see a clear difference in Choka and Selma that also the odd Homura shares with them. Their pupils are white. When you compare them to the others, the girls we know have a way darker shade of their eye color for their pupils, but Choka and Selma's are white the whole time. And the odd Homura also has this trait, as we can briefly see on the first version of the trailer 2 from 2024. However, she doesn't have that trait in the second trailer visual, so we can only assume her pupils are white when her eyes become red. The third and last detail that strikes me as odd are their soul gems. Even though we have clear shots of Choka and Selma's magical girl forms, they're displayed in a way that kept both their soul gems hidden from sight. We can clearly see them in their ring forms when they're wearing their school uniforms. However, there's something even more strange in them that makes me think of a theory that's also been around. They were both part of Walpurgisnacht. Let me elaborate a bit. It is said that the witch Walpurgisnacht is actually formed by a coven of multiple witches woven together. A fusion of witches, you could say. That's why it is the only witch that canonically doesn't drop a grief seed. I say canonically because I know the Madoka Magica portable players are gonna come at me saying she does drop a grief seed. Well, guess what? I know! I played the game, and the only time Walpurgisnacht drops a grief seed is in one of the mystery berries from the extras. Not the story.
I'm at Madoka near, deal with it, bitches!
But anyways, back to the topic. It's said that Walpurgisnacht is, as I just said, a fusion or coven of multiple witches. Where am I getting with this? Well, both Choka and Selma have strange soul gems. We can't get a good look at them, and we can only see them in their ring forms. And when that happens, the symbol of their soul gem is displayed on their left middle fingernail. This is true for every magical girl. What? Every soul gem symbol matches the soul gem color of the owner, as well as the glow, but not for these two. Take Kyoko or Mami for example. We have seen their ring soul gems emanate a colored glow when using magic, red on Kyoko's case and amber for Mami's. But Selma and Choka? We don't know the color of their soul gems. Besides, we see them both glowing white. We can see the symbols on their fingernails, sure, but they're both pitch black. We've seen dark colored soul gems before in Magia Record. Kanagi Izumi herself owns a dark gray soul gem. We have even seen a silver, almost white soul gem in Oriko from the Oriko Magica manga. But pitch black? And 2 cases no less? Never! Let me ask you, what happens when a soul gem is pitch black? Exactly. They turn into grief seeds. Think witches drop. So it's very possible they're back as magical girls after being part of that coven that formed Walpurgisnacht before Madoka's new laws of the universe took place. However, this brings a new question. What is their purpose here? Which side are they on? And which relationship do they share with Nagisa and Kyoko? I don't know about you guys, but I can't wait for the movie to come out and find out. And that's all for today, my cosmic chicken nuggets. I hope you enjoyed this little Madoka Magica essay taking a look at all the trailers and what little info we have about Walpurgisnacht Rising. There's a topic I haven't touched in here, but I think it deserves its own video. And that is the Holy Quintet's new designs. I want to analyze not only the designs we all know, but also compare them to the Rising designs and point out everything I can. But that's gonna be a story for another day. Thank you so much for watching and hearing me yap. Leave a like if you like this video, drop a sub if you also want to see my other content, and if you think I'm wrong at some point, or you think I missed something, leave a comment below. I love to hear you out. I'll see you on the next one, and until then, bye bye!